What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a long time since we've recorded on a Sunday, but here I am, and today I want to talk about the Indiana Pacers, and more specifically on who they should trade for when they get to the deadline, because I really do want to see this team get Tyrese Halliburton help. And to me, it comes down to two players. It's either, for me, Jeremy Grant or Pascal Siakam, and I think Siakam, obviously, is a little bit of a better player. So today, we're going to be doing is a Pascal Siakam Indiana Pacers rebuild, because I just love the idea of him in Indiana with Halliburton and Miles Turner. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We are on the road to 50,000 subs. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead, hit that sub button to help us reach this goal. But the trade that we've done, I'm not really sure if it's going to be very popular with Indiana fans, and it may not even be popular with Raptors fans. This might be a trade that neither team likes. But we all know how hard of a negotiator Masai Ujiri is, which is why, deals have not gotten done in the past for him as far as like selling pieces off. They usually just walk for nothing instead. Here's a trade that I did, and it might be a little too rich for Pacers fans, but I feel like this is what it's going to take to pry Siakam away from the Raptors if they want him that badly. And again, Jeremy Grant would probably be a little bit cheaper if they want to go for him instead. But yeah, here's the trade. It involves Benedict Mathurin, man. Yeah, that would be really rough to sell Benedict Mathurin. I don't know if the Pacers would be willing to do it. I think it either costs them Mathurin or Jarris Walker, and I feel like if Toronto were to choose, they'd rather have Mathurin because obviously, they have Barnes as a forward, so I'm not really sure if Jarris Walker is going to fit great. But Mathurin, on the other hand, would fit absolutely fantastic next to Scotty Barnes, which is why I think the Raptors would actually consider this, or at least they should. As far as Pacers fan, like Raptors, to me, the Raptors should say yes to this. Get one first-round pick in 2024. Yeah, the pick may not be great, but you get a first-round pick. You get Benedict Mathurin for an expiring Pascal Siakam. Buddy Hield has to be in there for salary. But yeah, and then Koloko's a throw-in. But if there was like some other cheaper contract the Raptors could throw in there, probably rather put that in there instead. So, but yeah, I feel like Raptors fans should, or not Raptors fans, but I feel like the Raptors should easily do this. Get Benedict Mathurin next to Scotty Barnes. As far as the Pacers are concerned, though, I would be hesitant, but I would maybe pull the trigger because you get Siakam, who I think fits so fantastic next to Turner and Tyrese Halliburton. So that is a trade we've done. Siakam is the brand new 3-and-D 4 that they were looking for. Maybe 3, not so much, but the defense part could work out a little bit. So, but now that obviously kind of leaves us a hole at our 2 spot for sure. I'm not really sure who we'd start there, but I guess Nesmith could start potentially if we wanted to go ahead and throw. Well, I mean, they have Jordan Nwora in there right now. What is Nesmith listed at? He must be listed at shooting guard if he's not starting. So, because I like, he's listed at power forward. So we're going to move him to small forward. He goes up, actually, so that way he can start over Jordan Nwora. So it's going to be Halliburton, Bruce Brown, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, Andrew Nembhard, TJ McConnell, and Jarris Walker. So Jarris Walker gets some minutes now as well. And then this is your new team in Indiana. So Siakam should be kind of the help the Pacers are looking for. His shot tendency is a 90, so he should shoot a lot. Should be a good score. We'll boost his touch tendency up to an 80, and we'll leave it at that. So, and then Bruce Brown, I do love him as our starting 2 going forward. We'll probably accept his option as well. But yeah, hopefully Siakam's the help the Pacers are looking for. I'm curious to see how this is going to go in 2K, which is why we've done this trade today, and I want to see what it's going to look like. But I'll see you guys at the end of year 1 with Siakam now on the Pacers. But as you guys know, today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks, and right now there's no better time to sign up for PrizePicks. They're doing a Picksmas promo every single day for the last few days until Christmas. Right now they have a free square on Kevin Durant over half a points. I've yet to use it yet. I'm waiting until we get closer to the game. But yeah, right now there's a free square on Kevin Durant. How it works is, of course, they have multiple sports other than just NBA. But you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times their entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times their entry. So we went, and use this free square on Kevin Durant. We also think like Brandon Ingram's going to score over 22.5 tonight. You simply click more on the projection. That's how it works. If you want to sign up for PrizePicks, use code Crushables. Link is down in the description below. They match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. I highly recommend PrizePicks. It's a ton of fun. Been using it since 21. So make sure you go sign up for PrizePicks, especially now when they're doing this Picksmas promo. Yesterday they had like discounts on Jokic across the board. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, Jokic really did not help at all. Like I think he might have hit on some of the discounts, but the one I put in he didn't hit. But you know what PrizePicks did? They actually rebooted it, so they refunded it. So if since Jokic didn't do great at all for their promo, they actually refunded it, which there's not a lot of apps doing that. So PrizePicks, really recommend them 100%. And the way I use PrizePicks is DJF's correlation and optimizer tool. Boys, we had such a great day yesterday. Of course, there was 3 football games, and I will show you the screenshots here in a second. But basically, How the correlation tool works, and I'll show you the optimizer as well in a second. It basically gives you a game script on how things are going to go. So basically, if Lamar Jackson's to throw over his yards and Trevor Lawrence to throw over his yards, then more than likely their receivers are going to benefit off of that. So basically, it's just a combination of players in the NFL. NFL is such a highly correlated sport as well. Like, it's so awesome. But basically, obviously, if Ridley is going to get over 47.5 yards, Trevor Lawrence has to be the one that throws those yards. So obviously, Trevor Lawrence could easily throw over his yards. It just depends on how the game goes. But I've hit a few of these, which has been really nice. 6 of 6s feel really good to hit, which is why correlation is such a crazy edge and daily fantasy. And then the optimizer, what the optimizer tool does, it compares discrepancies across multiple sports books. So basically, if you go to like Christian McCaffrey right now, see how Price Picks is listing at 21.5. Well, there's 5 other sports books disagreeing with that and saying, oh no, it's 19, 19.9, 19.4, which is why you're getting a value on Price Picks by clicking the under. I know clicking under on Christian McCaffrey is really scary if you do watch football, but trust me, take the value, take your feelings out of it. And I'm not saying it's going to, work out every time, but a lot of time, 54.97% of the time, it's sure to work out for you, which is better than 50-50, obviously. But if you want to check out any of this, link to their, link to sign up is down in the description below. Also, link to their channel is down in the description below. And of course, let me show the screenshots of what happened yesterday, man. What a great day yesterday. This is what can happen if you consider this, man. It's legit. I'm not lying to you. This stuff is legit. It's really been working for me. So you want to sign up for DGF. Their link is down in the description below. Like I said, also have their YouTube channel down there if you want to learn more about it. But other than that, thank you to DGF for sponsoring today's video as well. So at the end of year 1, Nikola Jokic wins MVP. Victor Wembanyama is your Rookie of the Year. Malcolm Brogdon, 6th man. Nicholas Claxton, Defensive Player. And Paul Reed, Most Improved and Donovan Mitchell, Clutch Player. Nick Nurse is your Coach of the Year. So I actually don't even know if we made the playoffs because I wasn't paying attention towards the end of the simulation. And we are going to be the 10th seed in the East. Okay, kind of disappointing, not going to lie. But obviously, we can, build off some things. So Halliburton only averaged 18, 16 from Turner, 14 from Siakam, 11 from Bruce Brown, 11 from Obi Toppin. So let's go ahead and see if we get out of the plan. We do not. We unfortunately get bounced right away by the Nets. So yeah, that's not great. If you're the Pacers and you trade for Siakam at the deadline, and yeah, I wouldn't feel particularly great about that, to be honest with you. But thankfully, this is just 2K, and we can still build off of this. But in real life, if that were to happen, yeah, I wouldn't feel very great about it. But the Celtics beat the Nuggets in 5 games. Now let's go to player retirement. So Udonis Haslem retiring, Iguodala retiring. So let's get straight to the offseason now. Draft lottery. I guess we'll be in the lottery. Actually, no, our pick's going to the Raptors. So they actually lucked out and got a lottery pick out of that trade. So yeah, home run for Toronto. If I'm Toronto and I got that from the Pacers, that'd be a home run. But let's go to staff signing. And let's see what we got. Rick Carlisle. I mean, I would fire him, but I think I'll just leave him for now. Let's just try to build off this offseason. Let's try to like build a good bench and figure out what else we need to, upgrade this team. Obviously, we're gonna have to resign Siakam, but other than that, we should be able to assemble a squad that makes playoffs next year. No reason we can't. Halliburton is really good. So let's go to draft night. Don't think we have a draft pick at all. We might have a pick from some other team. We do. Clippers pick 24. Okay. Do we want to make any changes here? I don't think so. I don't think there's like any well, I guess I could in theory make a trade with this pick. I just don't even know what I'm looking for at this point. So right now, Nembhard could be our backup point guard, or McConnell, which we do have McConnell's salary, and obviously McConnell's been really important for the Pacers. He's made some really good plays for them in some games, but Obi Toppin, I do like the idea of also coming back. And then Isaiah Jackson is our backup 5 for now, but I wouldn't mind upgrading from that. So I guess if there was one position I would want to upgrade from, it would be the center position as far as the backup 5 is concerned. I was not really sure, who would be targeting at this point if we were going to go for a backup 5 like Looney. I also like the idea of Naz Reid off the bench. Don't hate that, especially if Minnesota's going to have to dump some money eventually. Zach Collins, who got, extended by the Spurs. I don't hate the idea of that either. And then Daniel Gafford. So I'm kind of looking at like Gafford and Zach Collins here. And I kind of like the idea of getting one of them, not going to lie. So if we look at Zach Collins in particular, so let's see what he did last year. 8 and 7 and a block. And then Gafford, on the other hand, 9 and 8 and 2 blocks. So if I try to get Gafford right now, so let's say we get what we did Gafford for McConnell. And I don't know if I'd trade like a late pick, but let's say we threw like, I don't know, Kush and Koloko, we just got in that trade, and like a couple of our seconds. I wonder if they'd consider us for Gafford. They agree. So we get our backup 5 in Daniel Gafford, which I absolutely love. So Gafford, welcome to Indiana. So that's a huge upgrade at that spot. And now we can go straight to player. Actually, we can draft, of course. So let's go to draft. We don't trade a first for Gafford. We keep that first off, obviously. And then now we can just, load who we want. So I'm going to take McKenzie, or draft who we want, not load. But McKenzie, welcome to Indiana. And now we have McKenzie coming over. Player options, Bruce Brown. It is a lot of money, but I'm going to accept it because he's huge for this team. And Obi Toppin, again, someone I definitely wouldn't mind having back. And then free agency. So obviously, Nembhard, Halliburton's our point guard rotation. Bruce Brown's our 2 right now. Neesmith is our 3, but I think I'd rather him come off the bench. And then Obi Toppin, I would rather, obviously Obi Toppin, Siakam are must resigns. And then we got Gafford now. So at this point, I think we're looking for a small forward. If we weren't going to, outside of obviously just resigning Siakam and so let's just go ahead and do that. Let's get that out of the way. So Siakam and Obi Toppin, we also want a small forward. So let's see who is left on the table after we make these offers. So Siakam and Obi Toppin, resign them, and then I want to see who we can get. So small forwards left. We have Oubre, Kyle Anderson, Robert Covington, Royce O'Neal. So not like a ton of good options. Osman, Morris, Haywood, Highsmith. So I don't love any of these options in particular, to be honest with you. So we do have another young player in like Jarris Walker. And I kind of wonder if we should just go all in at this point. Like, why not? I mean, we could also sign someone in free agency. I might sign D'Anthony Melton to come off the bench. I wouldn't hate that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So Melton is still sitting here. And I'm going to sign him to come off our bench. I like the idea of that. But as far as a, starting small forward is concerned, I don't think we have that. So I kind of want to trade for it. And I might use Jarris Walker to do so, which is going to be a lot of, going all in and getting rid of some of our young pieces. But if we're going to go try to win now, and we got to, be committal to it. So I'm going to go ahead and look for our next wing player and see where that could potentially come from. It can't be somebody too expensive because I don't want to trade Bruce Brown, but we'll see who, could become available for us. So we're actually going to hold this off until the trade deadline just because I don't really see anything that makes sense at the moment. And we're going to just see who becomes available at the deadline instead of like rushing things at this point. So we're just going to go into next year with this squad. We got Halliburton up to a 95, Bruce Brown up. Nembhard up, Gafford up, which is all looking really good. Jarris Walker's up, Neesmith is up, so that's awesome. But we'll have Neesmith's contract, we'll have Melton's contract, we'll have some salaries that we can maybe throw together at the deadline. And if there's like a legitimate forward available, then we can strike on that because we still have, all of our future picks. We only traded 1 for Siakam. So yeah, I'm feeling good about this. I think we can go into next year feeling pretty confident about at least being a playoff team. And if we're not, I'm going to be very, very, disappointed. But we should be. Wow, they actually want to start Gafford over Miles Turner, which is quite shocking to me. I'm not sure why that's the case, but we're definitely not doing that. So Miles Turner starting, Siakam, Neesmith, Bruce Brown, Halliburton. So that same squad as last year. 9-man rotation. Jarris Walker not getting minutes this time, but he might be traded the deadline. Kind of depends what pops up, obviously, but for whatever reason, Miles Turner is not a great fit, which is kind of weird. But I'll see you guys at the trade deadline, probably, because we're going to try to make a trade to push this team over the top. So we're starting with the trade deadline, and I'm looking at some options as far as who we want to try to go for. And I'm going for someone I don't often go for, and that's Devin Vassell and the Spurs, who just had a great game against the Los Angeles Lakers, but they're still rebuilding. And Vassell's not like absolutely untouchable for them. So if I can get Vassell on this team to help us out, that'd be awesome. Because right now the simulation isn't going as good as I thought it would be. So I think Vassell could easily help us with this problem. $29 million, 14.5 points per game, 38% shooting from 3. So we're going to try to get Vassell on this team. And it's going to include Jarris Walker. He's an 86 overall, $29 million. That's going to be a lot to get to, but we're going to figure this out. So Neesmith obviously has to be in the trade. We have D'Anthony Melton, who we just signed, or Obi Toppin. Either way, Jarris Walker, I'm throwing him in the trade as well at $6 million. And then we need a little bit more money in this trade. So obviously there's Bruce Brown as an option. There's Nembhard doesn't make enough. Melton or Obi Toppin. I think we probably have to include Obi Toppin if we're going to get to a salary. So let's say we did that. And then we're probably going to be a little far off, but we're going to figure this out. So Bryce, and then obviously also Sid, and that gives us a little bit not enough. Okay, so Jarris Walker, Neesmith, obviously Obi Toppin, not enough money. Does Melton make it enough? No, he does not. So does this? Okay, actually, I think we're going to have to just extend this trade even further. So Obi Toppin and then Isaiah Jackson should be in the trade, and then we should be able to take a cheap contract, which they don't have, which is nice. Okay, Blake Wesley would be their cheapest option. Okay, so Blake Wesley, I guess someone we might have to get. So it's Jarris Walker, Neesmith, Obi Toppin, Isaiah Jackson. Do they just accept this straight up? This is a big trade, but I'm looking to get Vassell on this team. What do they say? They disagree to that. Fair enough. I'll throw you my 2025 pick. and they're going to disagree to that. And I'll also throw you my 2027 pick. This might be a lot for Vassell, but I'm looking to go all in on this team, and we get Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell, welcome to the Pacers. We could play him at the 2 or the 3. He's 6'5", Bruce Brown 6'4". If I move Vassell to the 3, he's up to an 88 overall. Easily moved him to the 3. Very happy to have him, and I think he'd be an amazing fit next to Halliburton as well. So I don't know if that's going to change our dynamic of our roster. I'm hoping it does. We'll see how it goes, but proficiency is now 4-star with Vassell. We could also be 4-star balance. So let's move it to a balance since Miles Turner fits better in that system. So we'll do that, which is great. And then I'm hoping I can also extend Miles Turner here right now. I can extend Mr. Lego Man here, which, by the way, some of his Legos are really cool. Not gonna lie. I know he gets made. I know some people were making fun of him for that post yesterday, or whatever. But I thought it was dope. Not gonna lie. I used to love them when I was younger. But here is your rotation. Now that we fix the rotation, it's gonna be Halliburton, Bruce Brown, Devin Vassell, Siakam, Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard, D'Anthony Melton, Daniel Gafford, and Ben Shepherd is gonna step up in that last spot. We're 27 and 23 right now, 8th seed in the East. Hopefully with Vassell coming over, Siakam coming over, we can absolutely jump in the standings and be top 5 in the East. That'd be awesome. AD wins MVP at the end of this year. Sarge Rookie of the Year on the Wizards. 6 man goes to Naz Reid. Anthony Davis Defensive Player, Zion Most Improved, and Fox Clutch Player and Tom Thibodeau Coach of the Year. So the Knicks look like a problem in the Eastern Conference, but Halliburton does make it all NBA second team, which is fantastic, averaging 22 and 9. A lot better than what we saw last year. A little disappointed by what we saw last year, but offense first team and all defensive second team. So we are in the play-in again. 7th seed in the East. You get to play the Bucks, which is kind of funny because, you know, there could be a rivalry brewing between these two franchises, of course, with the whole basketball thing the other night. But 22 from Halliburton, 17 from Vassell, 16 from Siakam, 15 from Turner, and then 12 from Bruce Brown, 10 from Gafford. Please beat the Bucks. Get out of the... Oh, my gosh. Okay. We get to play the Heat. All right. Now, if we do beat the Heat here, we get the ability to play the Knicks in round 1 of the first round of the playoffs, I should say. So hopefully we don't lose to Miami here. I'm not looking to go home again, and it looks like we're going to. So we have invested everything that we did just to not get in the playoffs just yet. Really disappointed by the results so far. Unless we come back at the very end, we're making it somewhat close, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So yeah, losing in the play-in twice in a row does not feel great. Not going to lie to you. But it is what it is. So you got the Knicks. They go on to win. I wonder who the Knicks have. They must have signed somebody because they're usually not this good. No, I guess they had Jovel. And then, like, I don't know. I mean, all I know is, like, Quentin Grimes, we can't allow this man to get up 6 threes. He doesn't even dribble. You know what I mean? Just kidding. If you know what I'm talking about. Kevin Durant kind of disrespected him the other night. It was kind of weird. But so in playoffs, we got the Knicks and the Grizzlies, and the Knicks go on to win the championship. So literally, they didn't do anything. They just became dominant. So shout out to the Knicks. LeBron James is retiring in Utah. Still makes no sense, but whatever. Draft lottery time. No picks matter to us, of course. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I think we got to fire Rick Carlisle. Not saying it's his fault, but if we're going to miss the play-in twice in a row, I think somebody has to be held accountable, and it's not going to be me, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and fire Rick Carlisle. We have a couple good options here, but someone I always like to get is Mr. Tyronn Lue. So Tyronn Lue, welcome to Indiana. You get to coach Halliburton. You don't have to coach LeBron or Kawhi or anything like that. You got a little nice young squad. Maybe not so young anymore. Obviously, we made a bunch of trades to not make us much younger. But go to player options. So that's our big hope, is that we hope firing Rick Carlisle is going to change things. I don't know if it will, but that's what I'm hoping. So as far as, you know, obviously Miles Turner, no-brainer, must re-sign him. So we'll sign Miles Turner. I don't want to renounce Bruce Brown. I would actually just did on accident again, but whatever. But we can still re-sign him. So we could sign Quentin Grimes instead, who I was just talking about. Get the Melton. I mean, they won a championship with Quentin Grimes last year. Are his numbers better? I mean, we could also sign Fred VanVleet. We have Bojan. So okay, I'm debating between Quentin Grimes and Bruce Brown. So Bruce Brown, 13 points, 30%. That's per 36. So let's go to his actual stats. 12 points, 32%. Okay. Quentin Grimes, on the other hand, 9 points, 34%. Kind of looks the same. Just give me the guy that was here. So we'll go Bruce Brown, and we're just going to run it back. So we're hoping that Tyronn Lue, bringing him over. We could also have Capella as a backup 5, you know. Capella kind of a cheat code as a backup 5, not going to lie. But we do... Oh, we need a forward. We need a backup forward. So, Marjan Beauchamp, Obi Toppin. We just traded you. You know what? I'm signing Capella, and this is going to be unorthodox. But I'm signing Capella because I know Capella is going to be a cheat code to help us, you know, be good next year. Now, moving Gafford to the 4. It doesn't make a ton of sense. but we're doing it anyway. So that's what we're doing. I'm trying to be a contender next year. I'm trying to make the actual playoffs. We have not done so. Vassell's up to an 88 because of us. But Gafford now playing the 4. Capella's our backup 5. He'll be our backup 4, obviously. But yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Obviously, Miles Turner and can space the floor, so that should help out a little bit as far as maybe when Gafford comes in as the backup 4. But I don't think I'd ever want to see Gafford and Capella on the floor at the same time, probably. So let's go to a balance system, and then let's go ahead and fix Tyronn Lue. And then we should be ready to make the playoffs next year, or this year. If we don't make the playoffs, then I maybe just end the video because, like, I don't know what else to do. So 9-minute rotation. We'll even shrink the bench utilization down quite a bit to like 40 if we need to. Let's play these guys a bunch of minutes. Alburn, Bruce Brown, Vassell, Siakam, Turner, Capella, Nembhard, Melton, Gafford. I'm pretty sure with Capella coming over, we're going to make the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. So this year went so much better. This year, we finally made the playoffs outright, and we are the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. So finally avoiding the play-in and literally just here. So obviously, now that we're here, I would love to get out round 1, go all the way maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals, make a little bit of a run here. But 23 from Halliburton with 9.5 assists, 22 from Vassell, 13.5 from Siakam, and 13 from Miles Turner. So here goes nothing. Miami in round 1. They're the team that knocked us out of the play-in last year. They got Chris Paul now. I would love nothing but sweet old revenge here and, you know, beat them in the first round. And we do just that. But now we draw Detroit. So obviously Detroit, terrible in real life. But as we know in 2K, they can be very, very good. They've signed Drew Holiday as well. Asar Thompson, Jaden Ivey. You know, we know the whole 9 yards on this Detroit team. So I wouldn't put it past them to eliminate us here, but we'll see what happens. So many current round, and we are going to go down 3-1 to the Pistons. We're the Pacers, not the... You know what I'm trying to say. But maybe we can come back from 3-1. You never know. Anything is possible, like Kevin Garnett once said. So let's see if we can come out here and win after being down 3-1, and we are not going to be able to do that. So 114 and 108. So I think literally what we got to do is run it back one last season. So going one more year in this rebuild. Knicks go on to win the championship again, but the Pistons are the team that unfortunately eliminated us. So let's go to the lottery. I don't think any of this is going to matter. I mean, at this point, the only thing I can think to do is to upgrade our shooting guard spot. I love Bruce Brown, but if that's what it's going to take, then maybe we have to consider it. So let's see if that even is a possibility. So if I threw Bruce Brown, I was hoping Gafford would be a free agent or under contract still, but he's not. So if I threw Bruce Brown, and let's say Nembhard, and my 29th overall pick, we can get Lonzo Ball. Lonzo and Halliburton seem kind of redundant. Not really sure if that makes a lot of sense, but Bobby Portis, Davion Mitchell, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Malcolm Brogdon used to play here, and Malik Monk, Cole Anthony, Jaden Hardy, Dennis Schroeder, Trey Murphy, Brooks, Keldon, and Fred VanVleet. Not loving any of those options, so we're just gonna go straight past the draft. I don't even care if we draft at you know, our pick. It doesn't even matter to me right now. Qualifying offers: Blake Wesley, and then free agency. We could sign CJ McCollum. Interesting. 34 years old. Might be a nice little get, honestly. I think we might have to resign someone if we want to as well. Halliburton, Nembhard. We have Bruce Brown, Ben Shepherd, and then yeah, and then Matt could play next year. I guess at this point, what do we have to lose? CJ McCollum. We could sign Austin Reeves as well, just to be our starting 2. We can sign Austin Reeves or CJ McCollum, which I don't hate. I feel like signing CJ McCollum might be a trap though, because I feel like when you get older players, sometimes it just like doesn't work at all. Austin Reeves on the other hand could be interesting. Lou Dort. We have Dorian Finney-Smith out here. You know what? I don't ever get CJ McCollum, so you know what? We're gonna sign a 34-year-old CJ McCollum to be our starting. No, just kidding. He's going to New Orleans, so we don't even have to consider that. Just give me Austin Reeves. Just sign Austin Reeves. He'll be our starting 2. And then Bruce Brown will move to the bench, I guess. And then Melton we can resign, but I don't need to. Then we can just get Gafford back. So Austin Reeves is our big addition to the team. Is that going to change our luck overnight? I'm not sure, but hopefully it does. Got to round 2 last year. Obviously would love to make it all the way to the finals this next year. Guys are going up in overall. McKenzie's even up. But we're ready to go next year. We're ready to hopefully go all the way and win this championship. We'll see what happens. Halliburton once again makes an All-NBA first team. You love to see it, but is this going to translate to winning a championship is the question. We draw the team that's won the championship for the last 2 years, that being the New York Knicks. So they have DiVincenzo, you know, Randall, RJ, Brunson, so they still have the big 3 or the mid 3, whatever you want to call them. I know some people will call them by that, but here goes nothing. So hopefully you can find a way to get out of round 1, get to round 2, and maybe go win this championship. So So in the current round, hoping for the best, and we are going to be in an even series with the Knicks. Can we win game 5? We cannot. We got a backs against the wall scenario here in game 6 to force a game 7 to not go home just yet, and we are going to have the lead right now, and we are going to finish them here in game 6. But now I go to a game 7 back in Madison Square Garden. This is where you show up, Halliburton. Just kidding. This is where we get blown out, isn't it? Yep. This is where we get blown out. So, in conclusion, never mind Indiana. Don't trade for Siakam. It literally leads to nothing. So, wow, this video went nowhere today, unfortunately. Maybe I should just go back to not uploading Sundays, but whatever. Detroit goes on with the championship. I had little to no success in today's video. So, yeah, I changed my mind. Don't trade for Siakam. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.